You know what? I'm going to finish that last video. I was talking about an episode that the Team Room did in regards to, they were making mockery of climate change, how it turned to global cooling and all this. All right. First of all, because you're too stupid to sit down and read the documents the UN has put out, the different boards on climate change the stuff they found out about climate change, doesn't mean it's not relevant. I talked in an earlier video about how stuff changes. Criminal investigations change. What they first start out with might be bigger than that. And sometimes, what's considered to be a murder may turn into justifiable homicide. And I know this is about right-wingers wanting to dumb stuff down. And I've talked about it before, how if you don't believe in climate change science, then don't talk about it. It's kind of like an atheist going to church. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't believe in God, I'm not going to go to a Bible study and just stand up and start ranting about that. You understand? Like I wouldn't go to a church and middle worship service, and I believe in God, but if I was an atheist, I wouldn't do that, and that's not proper. Same thing. If you're not gonna sit down and understand the science about these things, what's the point? Here's a couple things here. We have lakes drying up. Lake Powell is drying up out in California. I mean, these are facts. We have lakes drying up. They're finding bodies in cars and stuff out there. We talk about other things that are drying up all over the country. As whether it's global warming or global cooling, if we're going to be adults here, it's irrelevant. Because we've got states that depend on these huge aquifers. They're getting water from other states and stuff like that. If due to either one of them that's affected, that's going to create instability. If you have areas that get flooded with salt water and they can't grow crops, whether it's global warming, global cooling, it's irrelevant. If they can't grow on that land they've been living on for hundreds of years, living by the water, then that will create conflict. It gets shocking. I have to explain this to grown men that it doesn't really fucking matter if the world is getting warmer or cooler. If we're noticing these big glaciers falling off in the ocean and stuff like that, that's not good. We're watching all the bees dying off and stuff like that. That's not good. I mean, what they're trying to say is because someone got it wrong 30, 40 years ago, you're saying you're just not going to believe anything that anyone today says. Well, then I've got to say you're politically irrelevant in my mind, aren't you? You by your own words, by your own actions, you are pretty much irrelevant. It's like a man doing a job and they say, okay, we're changing computer system, we're going to change, and he says, I'm not going to learn it. Okay, so you don't have a job anymore then. Like, that's not, what world do you live in where people can just say, well, I'm too dumb to sit down and understand the science. I'm too ignorant to learn about how research has developed over the decades. I'm too dumb to do that. So because of that, I don't believe in any of it. I just, whether it's global cooling, it's irrelevant. That doesn't matter. We're talking about global instability that could lead to famines, and it will lead to conflict, as I said previously. Anon, that will lead to conflict. It's semantics. Thanks for listening.